Hello, good morning, and happy Tuesday. I've tried to bring Zilby in. Let's see. Oh, I think he's gonna hang out. I think he's gonna hang out. I bribed him with a little mousy toy. All right, so today is gonna be all about Docker stuff. We're gonna be continuing on with our Docker course and building that up. So let's jump into it. Now, let's see, we got all this done last week. So today we're gonna continue working on this. So deleting a Docker container. Coffee drinker, hello. How are you doing today? Docker is worthy of, I like Docker. Docker's a good technology. Now we have Docker. Oh, this is deleted Docker container, right? Yeah, we don't have that. Okay, so I want to new write delete a Docker container. Good, you just finished work. Nice. How was your day then? Hopefully it was pretty good. Okay, so deleting a Docker container. Is stopped. You did spend some time this weekend troubleshooting, trying to fix an ever-growing overlay to folder of Docker. In the end, you just deleted everything, but I still want to figure out how to clean all overlays that are not in use. Oh, right, because you've been working on that overlay problem, right? Or are you talking about like the layers of Docker? Jim, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, the layers. Yeah, so the layer type stuff is all taken care of automatically for us. Oh, it filled up your 50 gig VM. See how they do cleaning? Yeah. So that's the one really big elephant in the room. The big problem. I'm not sure the right word for it is in the Docker world, which is it's so big. It makes cargo and npm problems look like nothing. Generally speaking, when you remove an image, it removes all the layers that it can remove. But obviously, if you have a bunch of images, then you probably want to every once in a while go and remove them. The only problem is like, what if you need them or something? That's where like maybe deploying them out to like Docker Hub or your own repository is probably a good idea. Probably should be never remove them. Okay, so let's okay, so I want to how do I want to do this? Probably do the same thing we were doing before. So we do a Docker run. We can name this remove me. And it will just immediately exit. Of course, I have a ton of these, so that's not helpful. All right, well, let's see what we can do with this. I forgot we have to remove to get these down to like 3 each, right? Okay, so is this the one? Yeah, remove me. So this is the only one we care about, and the rest of them we're gonna delete. Oh, right. I do it from this thing, 3 from this. Which means you all need to be updated. There's no ports for this one, right? A minute. So probably something like that. There. And then all of you go away. Oh, I hate it when that happens. I don't know how to undo a selection, so I just have to redo it all again. So let's see. You did see a tool that could help you on Hacker News. Looks like a very cool for insights into Docker containers. Oh, nice. I haven't really looked into metrics inside of Docker containers very much. That does seem like it'd be pretty cool. Leo Logic, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, grep it, write a Vim macro. Yeah, writing a Vim macro would probably work. Well, except, you know what the problem is? This is Helix, and Helix doesn't have Vim style macros yet. They have some kind of almost type of macros, but I have like a lot better support if I use keyboard macros, which I won't really do any better. So yeah, was the exploring each layer in a Docker image. Oh, interesting. Okay, that is cool. Oh, it shows you like all the files that are changed in there too. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And I wonder if it would let you mark them for deletion too. Yeah, discovering ways to shrink the size of your... Okay, that's cool. Yeah, if you end up using this and it helps, let us know how it works. BA, hello. How are you doing? Excuse me. How are you doing today? Sorry about that. Where you can find the courses. So I only have one course for sale right now. And that is this one, which is SQLX Rust. But I have a home for them all. So I should remove these because they're on hiatus right now until they update to 1.0, and this I'm probably not going to do. So yeah, this is the only one I have. If you want to take a look at it, because I do have the preview for it, there is a link to it. All right, what am I doing? All right, we're continuing to work on this. Yes, this is probably going to go on there. I don't know what the cost I'm going to do. I have some experiments that I want to try on for different like courses and costs. Like I might put this on YouTube for free with advertisements, and then also make it available for a small purchase for with no advertisements, obviously. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So like those are all different options that I might go with. Okay, so we can see that this works. So now we can do the remove. Okay, so let's remove the container with the command docker rm container name. Container name or container ID. Since we named the container something easy to remember and type, so I don't have autocomplete set up because I think let's see, what I want to go. I wanted to Helix. Now I do have, okay, so I do have the Docker plugin installed. I wonder why that's not working the way I want it to work. So normally, if you have the Docker plugin installed, you can autocomplete things. So yeah, okay, so it's just auto-completing files. It's not realizing that I'm inside of a Docker command, which is unfortunate. I don't know, something about that. Thank you. I've just started learning Rust. Have seen you stream it a lot. Would love to get to the level when you're understanding things the way you do. Well, thank you for that. Like a big part of understanding is just doing it a lot, and also teaching it makes it so that we can understand it a lot as well. Okay, so we're gonna remove me. So that removes it, and then we can just do a then I can do this. We'll do a Docker ps-a again. And we'll just go ahead and lie and say that this is now what we have. Even though I have a bunch of other ones, but this is what you would see if you didn't have all those. VMs, LXC, Docker, JNode, what a time to be alive. It is a pretty amazing time to be developing. These are all types of things that I would have loved to have access to when I was a systems administrator. There's just so many cool tools that you could just do stuff with now. And they were all being built around that time, but I left before they got big enough for me to do anything with. Okay. Ooh, I hope the spell check is gonna catch that one. How do you spell that proper? I don't know how to spell that. The container has now been irrevocably removed from I guess like removed. Vampire, also, I think I forgot to say good morning. Hello. How are you doing today? I think it's not morning for you, right? It's afternoon. Well, regardless. Hi. Okay, so the container has now been irrevocably removed. There's no way to recover the container or any data stored inside the container. Oh, it is? Okay. So you are over here. So you're west coast of the US. Or something like that. For some reason, I thought you were over in Europe somewhere. All right, so the container has now been irrevocably removed. There's no way to recover the container or any data stored inside the container. Yay! Okay. So I guess that's it. Coffee drinkers all confused now. Dutchies are everywhere. I guess so. I'm trying to remember if I've ever met anybody who I would recognize with a Dutch accent. And the only times that I can really like remember would be like when I was traveling, but not like I was in I was in the Bay Area, but I didn't really get out very often. So there's that. Okay, so run a Docker container in daemon mode. Okay, so that's next. Should be easy or English is terrible, also called Dunglish. I mean, I guess the problem is over here, our English is terrible too, which is very sad and ironic. Okay, so run a Docker container, daemon mode. Okay, so okay, so until now we've been okay, so they'll continue to run in the background without taking up the terminal. Let's what's a good what's a good one we can use? Ubuntu is not a good image for this because it's just Ubuntu, right? Like interactively, there's nothing for it to do. If I remember correctly, there was a Hello World, right? There's like a getting started, and then they have you do like a Hello World. No, like their getting started starts with like, okay, containerize this application, and we're starting much simpler than that. Samples, maybe? No. Okay, we have an official Docker image, Hello World. Wait. Was there an official Docker image named Hello Seattle? Wait, I want to see hello. I want to see all the hellos. This is an, okay, this is also an official, oh, hello from DockerCon 2016. That's what it was. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And then a bunch of other ones, but okay, this is the one we want. So hello world, if we just run this, oh, but this won't work, will it? No. Okay, so wait a second. This won't work. We need I need something more interesting. I need like a command. A command to do something interesting. HTTPD might be good. Some of the let's see. The web servers might be good. This is for web development. You think web developers would hate me if I used WordPress as the example? They would probably not be happy with that. Let's see, we can just throw on a like a Postgres database. I mean, that should work. Postgres databases are pretty simple. How trustworthy are these pre-built Docker images? So the general idea is that if it has a single name and if it has this nice little Docker official image next to it, extremely trustworthy. Like as trustworthy as you can get with a Docker like image. This is meant that it's created or at least monitored very closely by Docker themselves to make sure that it's exactly what you think that it is. Like Docker, I don't know why. Docker figured out the namespacing problem with package managers that nobody else did. So everything that's a single name is official. And then if you ever see, let's see, oh, these are all official. If you ever see multiple names, of course, this is just random, isn't it? Let's search for here. If we're like, okay, I want the Postgres database. Okay, this is official from this is official from Docker or Postgres, probably a collaboration between both of them. This one is created by Bitnami, and they cannot push to a single letter name. They can't do like Bitnami _ Postgres. It has to be username / Postgres, which is really cool. I love this so much. Now you know exactly who created this, and you also know that it's not official. Okay, so we'll do this, and that will be like a cool. You have a Docker. You have a database on your system. Okay, so what's the bare minimum to? Okay, well let's jump into it. Do I want to do something like that? That's a little bit too familiar, maybe. Like, let's Okay, so first things we need to find the image. So the first steps. I think I already talked about earlier on about official images versus not. So that's good to know. Thanks. You meant to look into Docker a long time ago. You installed the Docker container a long time ago, but you lost the VM you were running it on, had a Portaino. Okay. Problem is that developers don't always realize that they're using some vague Docker image with 1 star that is not trustworthy at all as their base. That's it's so true. Because like when I watched a guest speaker once, we brought them in and they told us like, they told the students, oh, hey, if you want to check out a new technology, just go onto Docker Hub and install and like go just search for something and find it and install it. And hey, you can just play around with it. And they were trying to talk about, oh, hey, you can play around with something like Postgres or Redis or Cassandra DB. You can do all those things and like just figure it out and play around with the technology without having to like install it. And if you screw up, that's okay. Just delete the container and restart it again. But the problem is that if you don't also tell them, hey, this is what official image looks like, they might just install malware. And oh yeah, so this is a really good point. So security concerns with Docker, we're gonna have running like, okay, so I'm not sure the title of this, so the general idea is going to be Docker containers have more access to your system than a traditional VM. So that is something to be around as. Yeah, they're running as root, and you can't really ever get away from that because they're borrowing well, if you're on a Linux system, they're borrowing the kernel, they're borrowing the memory. They're not cordoning off parts of the memory to be just their own thing. They're just sort of like using it just the way that a normal system would use it, which technically means if you're root, you could do really cool things like start investigating memory that is not yours. Crossbow, hello. How are you doing today? That's why Podman, that's why I use Podman rootless. Yeah, I guess like we have to check out here. I should just check out Podman to my list. I mean, the big thing though is it's just why don't use unfamiliar images. Like use, I mean, to me, it's use the official ones and then build everything yourself if you can. Or the base is awful and they're dragging a 10 gigabyte Docker image around that should actually be 200 megabytes. Yeah, I remember when I first started with Docker, one of the things that I did, and I didn't realize how bad it was, is that you just do an apt install if it's a like an Ubuntu base, and then you just installed tons of stuff, just like now got added to that layer, and you don't realize that you just added like a gigabyte or at least hundreds of megabytes worth of stuff. And then you keep on adding more to it, keep on adding more to it, keep on adding more to it, and then never clean that up before sort of locking it in. And it's like, okay, oops, that's not great. Okay, so what are we doing? The first image, okay, so the search for the image that was in it, in this case, Postgres. Okay, so we find the image, and then after this, we're going to, okay, okay, so if we, let's find it. Okay, so that's not what I want. How to use this. Okay, this is what we want. Okay, so what is this saying for us? Apt auto remove and apt auto clean. Yeah, I mean that would be good if I had the thought about it, but no, I was too used to just having big systems. I wasn't used to thinking in containers at the time. Podman is 99% like Docker. Some people alias Docker as Podman. There's some corner case differences in license. Too bad you can't see when you last used a package. See, it feels somewhat dirty to me to have and all my commands in one run statement, so it only creates one layer instead of many. Yeah, that's another thing. It does feel dirty doing that. But it works. Yeah, so I added it to my to-do list. We'll check out Podman sometime, see how it's working. Basil, hello. How are you doing today? How to install Rust, Actix, and Docker and deploy to serverless? Well, that's... let's see. Deploy to serverless. When you say serverless, is there a specific vendor you're talking about? Because they all are going to have different instructions and different things you need to do. That being said, deving with Docker, it might be good. We can have like a, we can have challenges. So this would be like, setting up, Actix, web, database, for local dev. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do this one for like deployment type things, but maybe there's something we can do. Right, you mentioned that before, Ninja. Also, hello. How are you doing today? You've been using Fermyon Spin to deploy serverless WASI, which is nice. Yeah, At one point in time, Heroku was my go-to for deploying everything, since they had the ability to deploy Docker stuff out, and they had the free tier, which was amazing. But then they got rid of free tier. So now I just don't recommend Heroku at all for anything because there's too many other sites that have free tiers. Like why bother? Okay, so I guess like we have so there are 2 new things. So the first is the -e. Okay, to create an environment variable, the key and then our other one is the -d. Let's see. Are you doing well, Ninja? Excellent. That's good to hear. How do you share encrypted keys with containers? You mean like you have like an encrypted file that you want? You want to encrypt your environment variables and share them in there? I don't think I've ever done that before. Usually what I do is have like a GPG key. Well, I mean, you can make just a file like available to a container, and there's a couple different ways to do that. You can copy it in to the image itself, or you can just make it available to the container also and sort of like pass it in there. You can also kind of sort of SSH copy if you set that up to like throw things into the image at runtime, or to the container at runtime, I guess. Copy is bad. It's been a while since I used it. There's like 3 different types of copies. I sort of confuse myself with them all the time. There's a secret volume in Podman. I don't think that there's a secret volume in Docker. I'm not aware of that. But maybe things have changed and it's like new stuff that I'm not aware of. Okay, so if we run this command, all right, I actually need to copy this. Okay, so we're gonna run you. Okay, so there we go. This is the ID. And what do we want to do with this? We want to, okay, so basically it's now running. I should be able to do a Docker PS and see it here. Note that we don't need the -a option since the container is active and running now. Okay. And I mean, I guess that's kind of it. We have, stop. Okay, so we have stop running container here. Oh, connect. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna then do all these together with that. Okay, so cool. So there we go. I guess I already got that, so it's good to go. All right. Maybe I should mention. Oh, actually, this command. Did we put a port in this command? No, there's no ports available. We would not be able to connect since the port. Bolded for emphasis. Okay, so that's available inside the container. Okay, so we'll learn about that at a different time. Okay, so now we have Docker run in daemon mode. Now I think, okay, so connect stop running container. Oh yeah, up here we have binding, logging, exposing ports. Okay, so all that stuff is in there. So yeah, we're gonna work on that soon. Okay. I am curious, Crossbow, whether or not that's a new thing in Docker or not. Let's go take a look. Do they have you called it like a secret? Okay, so secrets. Only available to Swarm devices, not just individual containers. Oh, that's why I've never used them. Because I've never used Swarm. Okay, interesting. I guess you can use a single engine Swarm, but I think the power is like in using like a whole bunch of Docker containers together at the same time. Interesting. Yeah, so there is secret stuff that you can do. I've just never used it because it's Swarm only. And I'm not going to do any Swarm stuff here. So yeah, that would be really interesting to do Podman. Maybe later on I could do a course on Podman too, and like that I can have like I could put them all together in like the container course. All right, so ads are starting in around 30 seconds, so we'll use this as a break time. I'll go up and we'll stretch, take a quick 3-minute break, and then we'll be back until, let's see, and then we'll start working on connecting to a running Docker container. Cat stream, oh yeah, and then I forgot what we've been doing is that I switch over to cat big, cat large. For those of you who don't get ads, or maybe in the corner, you'll see this. So I will see you on the other side of the ads.